Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. What is Gerstmann Sträussler Scheinker syndrome? Chicago Med Disease explained. When it comes to medical dramas, bringing in a rare disease now and then, it was Chicago Med's turn in Season 10, Episode 17. Gerstmann Sträussler Scheinker syndrome came up in discussion, and I'm surprised by how easy it was to say it. In fact, the fact that Archer shortened it to GSS was just perfect, because it's clear that while he knows about it, it's not something that he hears on a regular basis. For Lennox, it made complete sense that she would know the disorder. As someone who has someone with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome in the family, I know the name of it and say it all the time, but most people will know of it by the letters EDS. If it affects us directly, we're more likely to remember the full name. Lennox may have Gerstmann Sträussler Scheinker syndrome. While stitching up her arm, Archer wants to know why Lennox spent the day with a terminally ill patient. It turns out that her mom died of GSS, and it's something that she knows she may have. She doesn't know though, because she and her brother agreed not to get tested for it. Honestly, I'd want to know so that I could plan, but everyone has their own needs. Lennox shares that she wants to do good while she can. Sometimes that means sitting with a dying patient because there is nobody else there to do it. While a lot of people have disliked Lennox since she came in, I actually like her. There is clearly more to her story, and I'm intrigued. Gerstmann Sträussler Scheinker is an extremely rare and genetic degenerative brain disorder, according to Rare Diseases. Those with the syndrome can become unsteady in walking and become clumsier as they lose their coordination skills. Eventually, the disease can progress to dementia, language issues, and even behavior problems. As it's genetic, there is a specific gene that is affected. There's an abnormality in the prion protein gene, PRPN, which is why Archer asks Lennox if she has it. She would be able to get tested for the genetic mutation. The prion protein ends up abnormally shaped and becomes toxic to the body, with the buildup mainly happening in the brain. People are most affected in their 40s or 50s, and there is no cure for it right now. Someone diagnosed with it can have 5 years, but that's just a median time frame. As Lennox shared, her mom died within 11 months of being diagnosed. It gives us an idea of what we could expect for Lennox as the series goes on, especially if there is a need to write out the character. It's also one of those rare disorders that needs more awareness, as researchers continue to find ways to both manage symptoms and treat the condition. The whirring of machines and the soft beeping of monitors underscored the tension in the ED. Dr. Will Halstead glanced over the latest labs with a furrowed brow. "These don't make sense," he muttered. "She's only 32. Nurse Maggie Lockwood approached. Families in the waiting room. "You want to talk to them now?" "Not yet," he said, staring at the MRI results. "Her symptoms. They're not matching anything common. We're missing something." STD, the mysterious decline. A young woman named Elise had come in 2 weeks ago, with what seemed like clumsiness. Tripping over rugs, fumbling keys. Her fiancé thought she might have a pinched nerve or stress-related fatigue, but now she was slurring her words and couldn't walk without help. Her speech was hesitant, her gaze distant. Dr. Natalie Manning consulted the chart. Cognitive impairment, ataxia, muscle stiffness. Could be early onset MS. MS doesn't progress this fast, Halstead replied. This is more aggressive. Dr. Marcel joined them. Could it be prion-related? They all paused. Prion diseases were rare, deadly, and notoriously hard to diagnose. Active ARA. A name from the shadows. In the conference room, Dr. Charles offered a psych consult, but suspected something organic. Elise had no psychiatric history and no trauma. Then, Dr. Halstead had a breakthrough. She mentioned her mother had similar symptoms before she passed, he said slowly, piecing it together. Same age, same progression. He dug through old journals and rare case databases, and then he found it. Gerstmann Sträussler Scheinker syndrome, or GSS. Never heard of it, Dr. Asher admitted. That's because it's ultra-rare, Halstead said. Inherited prion disease. Only a few hundred documented cases worldwide. It's like Creutzfeldt-Jakob, but slower, crueler. Act II. The Science of GSS. In a quiet voiceover as Elise is wheeled into a neurology room, Dr. Charles narrates to medical students. Gerstmann-Sträussler Scheinker syndrome is a fatal inherited neurodegenerative disorder. It's caused by a mutation in the PRIP gene, the prion protein gene. This mutation leads to misfolded proteins in the brain, which act like a virus, spreading their abnormal structure and damaging healthy brain tissue. The camera zooms in on Elise's MRI. Tiny holes dot her cerebellum like moth-eaten cloth. These misfolded proteins accumulate, causing progressive symptoms: difficulty walking, tremors, slurred speech, memory loss, and eventually complete motor and cognitive decline. There is no cure, no treatment, no slowing it down. Axi to IV, the echoes of family. Elise's fiancé Jason stands frozen as Dr. Halstead breaks the news. It's called GSS. It's genetic, which means, if your children have her DNA, there's a 50% chance they could inherit it. But her mom died young. We thought it was a stroke, Jason said, breathless. Most families misdiagnose it. It hides like a ghost until it's too late. In a flashback montage, Elise stumbles in a ballet class, forgets names, and tears up over her failing body. I thought I was going crazy, she whispers to Dr. Manning, but it was already in me, waiting. Act T2V, the ethics of knowing. In the break room, Dr. Charles and Dr. Halstead discuss the weight of knowing. You tell someone they have GSS, and there's nothing you can do, Halstead says. Is that even ethical? Charles responds, knowledge gives choice. It can prepare a family, or tear it apart. Later, Elise asks the hardest question: should my sister get tested? Halstead hesitates. That's her decision, but knowing could give her a chance to make plans, or even contribute to research. Act VI, the legacy. Elise decides to enroll in a clinical trial for a new treatment aimed at stabilizing prion proteins. It's risky, experimental, but she wants her suffering to mean something. I won't survive this, she tells her fiancé, her voice quivering but strong. But maybe someone else will. In a moving scene, Elise films a video journal for her unborn niece or nephew, explaining the disease, her journey, and her hope that one day medicine will catch up. Epilogue. The echo continues. In the final moments of the episode, Dr. Halstead types up Elise's case for a rare disease database, closing the file with a deep sigh. Gerstmann-Sträussler Scheinker syndrome, he writes, is rare but real. Its echo reaches across generations. It reminds us that medicine is still full of mysteries, some cruel, some humbling, all worth pursuing. As the screen fades to black, a voiceover offers real-world information. If you or a loved one has a family history of early-onset dementia, balance issues, or undiagnosed neurodegenerative decline, consult a genetic counselor. GSS is rare, but knowledge is power. Medical notes. What is GSS? Gerstmann-Sträussler Scheinker syndrome is a hereditary prion disease caused by mutations in the PRIP gene. Prions are misfolded proteins that cause neurodegeneration. How does it differ from other prion diseases? GSS progresses more slowly than Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, often over several years, and typically begins with ataxia, uncoordinated movement, followed by dementia. What are the symptoms? Difficulty walking, ataxia, tremors, slurred speech, memory loss, behavioral changes, seizures, less common. Is it treatable? Unfortunately, no, there is no cure. Treatment focuses on symptom management and supportive care. How is it inherited? It follows an autosomal dominant pattern. If one parent carries the gene mutation, there is a 50% chance of passing it on. Final thought. In the halls of Chicago Med, diseases often play the villains, but in real life, understanding them gives us a chance to fight back, with compassion, science, and hope. Gerstmann-Sträussler Scheinker syndrome may be rare, but stories like Elise's remind us why every diagnosis matters, even the ones written in our DNA.